Today on Smackey's Garage, I'm going to show you the easiest way to change spark plugs on this 2015 Audi A4 with a 2-liter turbo engine. This is an easy project. To start it off, we're just going to go ahead, open the hood and get access to the engine compartment. Now on these engines, you're supposed to be changing the spark plugs every 40,000 miles. I probably wait about that. We're going to go ahead and see how these look after 40,000 miles. So the first step to do this project is you need to take out the oil cap to take this cover off, because all the spark plugs are going to be located under here. And then just to be safe, we're going to go ahead and put the cap back on so that nothing gets dropped in the oil. So the spark plug is going to be located right here on the engine. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go ahead and take off this connector here. So there's a T35 bolt right here that needs to come out to be able to remove this wiring and get it out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead, put this in here, and then take this bolt out. Now with this bolt out of the way, you can see you have access to moving this around now. Now the next step's pretty easy. You just have to remove each one of these, the connectors, then we're going to go ahead and move this wiring out of the way. Now you can use a flat bladed screwdriver, or you can use your finger. I'm going to go ahead and push this down and then pull. 1, 2. You can see just a quick twist here. Quick twist. There you go. Now those disconnected, all we have to do is slide this down and get access to these. So we're going to start up here because it's easiest. I like sliding this down and out of place. Do each one, and then we're going to go ahead and do one of these at a time. Easiest way to get these out if you don't have special tools, just to move them back and forth and then pry up on them. There you go. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to keep these in order on my bench so I know which one's going to what. So front to back. Now, if you do get one that's stubborn like this, you can just keep working it back and forth. You can see it's slowly making its way up. And after a while, if you can't get it, just a big pry bar on the engine. Just get a little bit extra leverage. Then you can take it up. Now to get the spark plug out, all you're going to need is a 5/8 socket, about a 1-foot extension and a 3/8 drive. We can just go ahead and use this and you should be able to take them all out. They shouldn't be too bad to get out. Now using a spark plug wrench is important because you want to make sure that the spark plug stays in while you lift this up and out of place. That is a crusty spark plug. Okay, so here are the plugs that we took out, and you can see they're pretty well destroyed and pretty well used. We're going to replace them with these new ones. So these are the BKR8EIX. I will have a link in the description below if you do want to use these plugs. When I'm going Audi, these came from the dealer obviously, so Volkswagen Audi Group. NGK. We're going to replace it with these NGKs. I do like the NGK plugs. So quick visual on them, make sure everything looks the same or is similar, and we will change them out. Now you can see just how badly corroded some of these are. That one's not too bad. That one's pretty bad. This one's definitely more on the lean side, but I'm surprised at how worn out these are. But we're going to go ahead and replace them with these and we should be all set. Now when I put these in, I do like to use a little lubricant, so you can either use some oil here or some anti-seize and then drop them into place. Now the best way to get these in place is we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of grease, a little bit of oil here, and then we're going to go ahead and put them in here and then use this to guide them into place. We don't want to drop them on here because we don't want to change this gap of the spark plug. Now for these, you're supposed to torque them to 22 foot-pounds. If you have a torque wrench, go ahead and do that. I usually do it more by feel, so I'm not going to torque them, but I would suggest using the torque wrench and putting it to the right torque value if you're not used to working on cars. So after you get them all torqued down, you can go ahead and put your coil packs back in. Then we're going to connect everything back up. Then you can feel these bottom out when they're in place. Then after those are back in place, we can just go ahead and slide this connector back in. Make sure it snaps on every one of these. Then go ahead and put this bolt back in. So that's really as easy as it is to do spark plugs in this 2015 Audi A4 with a 2-liter turbo engine. Thanks for tuning into Smackey's Garage. I'll see you next time.